brush and a comb already in your hand instead of in your purse or somewhere you can't find it. But we're going to do a quick get ready with me look. I have a digital fitting and a Zoom call to get on for a music video I'm shooting in a couple of weeks. And I just wanted to, do something quick and easy that would enhance the look. It's a very kind of gold, rose gold, Tina Turner kind of look. I've got my flowery clips to get my hair somewhat out of my face. And I thought we might, just take a quick look. What can we do? We do have these lash extensions that look very dramatic. We're not really wearing a lip. Maybe let's take the gloss off, and maybe we need to get into some kind of contour, right? We've got a few colors of the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. We have, let's see, are they even marked? Oh, I see, yeah. We have Bronze Bell, Honey Drip, and Tan Lines, right? So it seems to be from lightest to darkest, and these shades are very close to each other. So let's see what happens if we use the lightest. We are in our winter pale state, and if everything goes wrong, then we can go in with something darker, just to see that we do get a sculpt on. You don't want to put on makeup and have it look like nothing. That's for children. We're too, grown to play games like that, but we have this really cool, it's a Lash Line #3 brush. I'm not sure who made it, but look at how kind of distinctively sharp and small it is, right? I do see all these people drawing these big fat lines all over their contour places, and I don't think that we want to keep doing that in 2022. Look at that. Beautiful. It may not be dark enough, but let's see. So we're just pressing into the product. We're gonna go right on to the cheekbone, right? They say find your cheekbone and build right on it, right? That isn't very dark at all. Abandon ship. Let's go for the darkest e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. We had high hopes for these products because they're so cute. But this actually, Bronzed Belle, is the first color that I bought. I've gotten into it before, but honestly, it was in 2021, so I don't know how well it worked, if at all. So this is giving us a dark enough, very precise line that then we can smudge upward. When people say blend your contour upward, do they mean upward toward your ear or upward toward your eye? Upward meaning vertical or upward meaning diagonally back. That thin line might not be the best thing, so we're going to go in with the kind of face of the brush and do one of these. This brush is rather rough. I don't know. Let's get the other side. But yeah, that's why it's good to experiment with makeup on the weekend. Make sure you've got it angled, right? Make sure that it's symmetrical. We're going to use the edge of that brush to build a narrow little trail down our nose. Narrow trail. We want to end up with 2 parallel lines. I got my makeup recently done on set, and I was shocked at what the artist drew, right? Little set of lines on the bottom to thin it out. But it looked like literally 2 straight lines, and I was shook, but it looks incredible in photographs. I was going to say a curse word, but there's no need for that. But I feel like when I do it, it looks less straight than when other people do it on me. And also I'm looking into the monitor instead of at a mirror. Maybe it would help if I, as much as we can. Nature isn't always even. I think we all know people who have noses that aren't perfectly symmetrical or faces that aren't perfectly symmetrical. I think that this putty bronzer is warmer than we might need for contour purposes, but in as much as it's a cream, we can certainly go over it with something cooler just to calm it down. But I think this brush does let us achieve narrowness that kind of builds up toward the brow. Some people say if you want to shorten your nose, you should only take your contour up to where your eye crease is. So, you know, they say don't put your bronzer under the cheekbone, but right on top. So we've done that. We don't need to narrow the forehead because we've already got this hair in the way. Shades of Marianne on Gilligan's Island. So from here, I think that we can take our trusty silicone sponge. I'm a big fan of these kinds of products because they don't absorb all of your pricey product, right? This putty blush is only $6, but say this was Chanel. Say this was, you know, anything else that you spend your hard-earned money on. You don't want to get that into a sponge and then, you know, end up washing it down the drain or throwing it in the trash. You want that product to land on your face and give you, you know, make your good looks even better. That's the point, right? So we're just going to use this very flexible, it feels like if your finger didn't have bones, this would be what your, you know, what it might feel like. It's flexible. It, you know, kind of doesn't drag, but it lets you kind of even out and move things around so it gives you a nice uniform line before it sets and, you know, before you go over it to lock it in with powder products. So that makes it a little less harsh and obvious. Is that a good thing to say about it? You know, you want your makeup products to look seamless. You don't want it to look like a big, hard, heavy line on your face. You want it to look like something that enhances and sharpens and, you know, does all the good makeup things and hopefully none of the bad makeup things. I mean, looking made up is great in terms of the fact that it looks like you made an effort, but really what you want to achieve is like something that gives the impression that it really is what you look like naturally, right? So, you know, these long, long, long nails. I wonder what I can hold up to let you see how long the nails are long, the lashes are long. That's so not natural, and it's interesting because the shape of the lashes dips down. This one's starting to detach because it's been a couple of weeks since the install. I'm kind of happy that they're going to come off because I found it really impossible to put contact lenses in with these lashes, you know, and the nails, right? Maybe with one or the other I could manage, but I didn't want to like injure myself trying to get things done with these kinds of like extreme extensions on. Does that make sense? Does anyone? My live is going to have a struggle today because it keeps telling me that it can't reconnect. So we'll see, you know. I do see the timer continuing to go. You know, this bronzer under the chin is to hopefully cancel out all of the delicious buttered French bread that we've been eating during holiday, right? Up to the middle of the ear. You know, some people say that you can bronze the sides of your neck. I don't know if I need anything else to make that, you know, sort of shape of my neck and even more prominent. But we're just, it is, you know, it's there for us, right? It's there to help us be all that we can be, right? Do you want to gamble and get any of it into that eye crease and over to these thick, heavy lashes? I am impressed at how long these lashes stayed on. You know, if I were a stage performer, I might be more eager to have this kind of thing all the time, and I see all the girlies and all the beauty boys when I go to Target wearing them, but I can't say they're the most comfortable thing in the world. The permanency is great, but I feel like a strip lash would have a length that isn't so absurdly long, right? When you see people at the checkout, working at the checkout or at the bank with lashes like this, it's just strikingly not natural. And I felt the same way about when people did their brows so heavy and dark in 2016. But, I feel like this bronzer has given us a certain amount of snatch and definition. We can certainly grab hold of a cooler powder that is in the contour game, this UR Glam powder that you can get for very cheap, $1.50 at Daiso, seems to fit the bill. Let's gamble and use our same little brush. Get the corner and the top of that brush in that product and go over that contour, right? Taking out those brown tones. I got really excited about the whole idea of drawing on freckles, right? There's a certain hair product that you can kind of spray on your face and get a splatter of freckles, right? So it's not like dotting each one on individually, but it really is giving that kind of random different sizes, ones that look more like splotches, which I think is a very natural way that freckles can look on people who really do have freckles. So love that. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm always looking for ways. It's not like I hate my natural face, and enhancement is always good, but I do think that there's something to kind of like giving yourself looks that are different, hair that's different than, your same old daily look, skin and makeup and color that's different from your daily look, these little baby hairs that make maybe your wig look a little bit more married into your head than something that might sit too high or have a very unnatural hairline, because people don't have perfect hairlines. I see some gentlemen at work who've gotten hair plugs, like I think Machine Gun Kelly got hair plugs, hair transplants, and there's no shame in any of it. You want to look your best, but if you don't do it the right way or you cut your hair too short, you can see where you harvested it in the back, and you can see a hairline that looks a little bit too Ken doll. Most guys have a widow's peak and then it recedes here and then it comes forward, no matter what age. A lot of guys have a sort of hairline that they inherited from their family. There's no shame in that. But no matter what you look like or what your age, you always want to look your best, your cutest, right? Let's see if we can get in here with what is this? Urban Cafe NYX lip liner, right? A brown, right? I got my makeup done on set. I did this cowboy style shoot. Pictures are so cute. If you hop over to my Instagram, you can see. It's a little risque, but what he did was he made little points on my top lip, right? Very Lucille Ball. Not just overlining, but making this sort of sharper than natural M shape. And sticking to the natural line on the outer thirds of the lip. Mostly, right? To give you a nice gradient, but just a little bit of a dip and a peak. For so long, people were making a straight line across the top of the lip. And I don't know. I thought that was a little odd, but that was the quest to make their lips look bigger, which I don't think I need. Do you need it? But the whole point is to experiment and achieve something that looks purposeful. right? Draw the X here on the upper lip. I don't know why, but it's a thing. A line up the middle, and then a line here, and a line here, right? It suggests structure in your lips when, you know, if you put a lot of opaque product on your lips, your structure gets taken away. Now, we have a lot of lipstick, believe it or not. We did a lot of work to try to organize our makeup using these recycled goods. Now, is this the best thing to do? I don't know, because I imagine our friends on Amazon have some organizing tools that might be even more juicy and better. So, our friends at Milani have this lipstick color called Lingerie, right? We've used this Urban Cafe NYX lip liner. Oh, and it's on there. So, this is kind of a rose color. It's maybe a little bit darker than we want for this look. Here's another color from Milani called Lustful. This one also looks like it's a little bit dark. Is that contrast great enough? Let's keep shopping around in our little plastic cup of lipstick. Here's a very pale caramel latte. Let's try that, right? So what we try to do is organize these different cups in the order, you know, left to right of which we apply makeup, right? So lipstick and lip liners are over there, brow products. I'm not someone who does my brows first. I don't really need a lot of brow product, to be honest, because look at my brows. But sometimes I get into it, and I have gotten these lift and snatch things from our friends at NYX that I have yet to try. So, you know, you want to kiss that liner, right? Did I just put my nail in my lipstick? I think I did. My nail that I burned with a lighter. I'm learning, y'all. I wasn't really ready for these long nails. It was a Christmas present from one of my employers. So what we've done is put a lipstick inside the line without obliterating the line. You don't want to cover up the liner, right? This is how you make light lipsticks look natural if you're someone who has a darker skin tone, right? Just to give it a base. It's like having dark roots. You can't naturally be blonde to the root, but you can be dark-haired with blonde or balayage, or however you pronounce that. But I always find that overlining my lips looks big, but almost too big, right? It just looks bigger than my natural lips. So at this point, you're supposed to press your lips together. I love the way L'Oreal lipstick smells, by the way. And this is Caramel Latte number 799. We're going to put that book back in the library, right? Press our lips together. Check the symmetry. Right? Maybe it's too much down here and down there, right? Maybe we did a little bit too much on the top lip. Where do I even rub this? Oh, no, we'll save it for later. We definitely look made up, but we don't want to look crazy, right? We want that gradient effect, but not, I've been drinking chocolate milk. Right? Is this too much light? Is that too little light? Is this too much light? Turn that down, right? We can still see our, what do you call it? Contour on the nose, right? If you get close, you can really, really see it. So I would think maybe take a finger and rub that in a bit, just to kind of calm it down a bit. We still get the effect of having a narrow line down our nose, but we don't want to look like Little Kim in some of her photos where it's like they didn't blend the contour at all and it doesn't look seamless. It looks like contour drawn on it, which is, you know, it gets more into like that drag makeup feel, which is not necessarily something that I want to go for. I really wish I had some sort of, hold on. I'm just rubbing my fingers off so I don't get it on my hands. Actually, I can use a beauty blender or beauty sponge to make sure that I've got this off my fingers. But, you know, when we back up from our makeup, I think it looks pretty. It looks enhanced, right? From here, do we want to add highlighter? Do we want to take, say, this Becca concealer in Banana, since we're so yellow, take a bit of it and get it in our dish, right? Experimenting with smaller brushes, more precision, not, you know, these great big dramatic lines that people are drawing all over TikTok, putting a big line on the outside of their mouth and looking very suspicious. You know, it's, you know, dripping and pouring a lot of product all over their faces. I mean, full coverage is one thing, but that just seems wasteful. Am I wrong? Maybe it's a different ball game when people send you the makeup and you don't have to pay for it yourself, right? Look how straight that line is. But a very, very narrow, narrow, narrow brush with an even more precise tip than, you know, is this a lip liner brush? I'm not sure, but having had a professional do my makeup, it really was something to see how precise and with high-end products he worked, right? He did not, you know, there's this trend now of drawing lines up, up, almost suggesting a mustache, right? Almost suggesting some kind of like tribal kind of painting, right? And is that on some level what we are doing in modern times? You know, those of us like myself who have some indigenous blood flowing in our veins, are we getting ourselves ready for battle? What exactly is that battle that we're preparing ourselves for? We can't go out with it quite this sharp, but you know, it was exciting to see that anchor woman who has Maori tribal tattoos on her chin, you know, be able to have that and leave it uncovered at work, right? Just smallest smear of concealer and we put it into the conceal places, right? Center of the forehead. Maybe we can get a little bit under the brow, right? That's supposed to sharpen and define the brow. And with this narrow little brush, it's letting us liberate ourselves from, you know, making a mess or making something muddy and wasting product to, you know, using technique and precision to just get it where we want it to be. And then, you know, let it sit for a bit, but then blend, right? And we can go over this with a beauty blender if we end up with harsh lines. We can certainly go over anything that we don't end up liking, but, you know, just to bring light to these places, right? And almost like drag this up to emphasize our contour, right? Same on the other side. Right, we're creating visual unity by having this color live on our face, right? Creating that line to narrow the nose, right? Let me use my mirror before I make a mess. But they say that this line by the eye lifts the eye. You know, that's the theory. Does it lift the eye, or does it define, you know, what shadow we created by, what is the word? Dragging our bronzer across the crease in our eye area, kind of emphasizing what you call the occipital bone, the bone that lives underneath your brow bone. You know, do we add some of that concealer in the inner corner to make sure any shadow or darkness is lifted and the light gets reflected from these lighter areas and absorbed into the darkened areas, you know, therefore achieving what we define as beauty or beautification, right? Any residual we can put around the nose. But, you know, to start from a place of like, I'm not obliterating my face, I'm being very, you know, precise, and then I can diffuse what I've done with a damp beauty blender, right? Which will spread the product and also make it less harsh, right? But look, chin underneath the contour, outside these lips, right? Down the middle of the nose. I think this is my favorite middle of the nose brush because it's stiff and it's narrow. And even if you press into it, you can still have that line and that narrowing effect without losing it or muddying it with a broader tipped brush. What is this? It looks like it's some sort of Real Techniques brush, but I'm gonna put this one aside and keep my eye on it because it did me very good today. So taking a damp beauty blender, you know, and thinking about where we're trying to go with it. This is a smaller of two that I have that I really should get rid of or replace, but I don't know about you, I like to use things until I can't use them anymore, right? These lashes are kind of you know, I like the look. This one is starting to detach here at the end. I could glue it back, but in a way it's a relief to kind of have it starting to detach from my face. It's painful if you rub it too hard or move it around because it really is attached to your skin. You know, I don't know what that glue is, but it's a very effective glue. I'm impressed by how long it's stayed on and stayed in place, but you know, I'm also ready for it to go, right? I'm ready for it to go. It's been a while and I don't, you know, I don't feel like, oh, I absolutely have to have a eyelash extension every day of my life. I do have a lot of like, you know, temporary strip lashes that, what was interesting is they installed the lash extensions underneath my natural lashes and they curl and they're so thick that I can really not even see my natural lashes. Do you curl these things? They have curl, but the curl is kind of not at the base of the lash. So, you know, it's a very significant looking lash. I don't know if I like that. I kind of want something that looks a little bit more subtle and a little bit more real because I feel like until these lashes are gone, I cannot play law enforcement or cop or detective or anything like that in my job. I can't because it's too much. Look how pretty this looks. You know, just by taking a damp beauty blender and those very precise lines by the eye, under the brow, middle of the forehead, right? What you want to do is enhance the face with the lightening effect of your highlighting concealer, right? At the outside corner of your eyes, underneath your brow, but just use it to take down the sharpness of those lines and create a gradient effect where you've got that gesture of lightness, that thin line with dark lines around it, a lighter chin to bring it forward. I think that looks fabulous. You know, slap on a little powder, we might be good to go. And look at that lip. It's a sort of fuller looking, glossier lip. It's not a color that's darker than our natural lip color. It's one that's in the same level of hue, but because we sculpted with dark on the outside and some structure within the body of the lip, it just looks arresting, right? When you walk into the dinner party, when you get on the Zoom call, you're going to be looking not plain-faced. You're going to be looking like you did a little something, and maybe people can't put their finger precisely on what it is, and I think that's best. So now, you know, TikTok is talking about use powder foundation instead of setting powder under the eye in all the places that you would like to not look greasy or shiny. So this is the NYX Stay Matte But Flat. It says professional makeup, but can it be professional makeup if anyone can just walk up and buy it in Target? I only say that because you can actually take any call sheet that you've appeared on and bring it to Namies and all these other professional makeup stores where actual professional makeup people shop and buy the stuff they normally only have access to, right? You can get a MAC membership if you're a union member, if you're a SAG-AFTRA or any of the other unions, but it seems like NYX says professional, but it's, you know, available to anybody who has cash and a local Target. So this is just a fluffy brush with this beautiful little amethyst jewel type handle. They always tell you to hold your brushes at the end to decrease the amount of pressure that you're using. And then you want to look up and just press that powder under the eye and in all the places where you don't want shine, right? This is a mattifying powder, and this is a very well-made compact because it comes with its own little mirror. Not every compact does, and a lot of the compacts, as soon as you use the powder gets all over the compact and you can't see anything anyway. I'm a fan of a cute little compact, as you see, like just the mirror and then a magnifying mirror. I don't necessarily use the different sizes of the mirror, but I just think it looks really elegant to have that. And when you're touching up your makeup, and if you have to do it in public, you know, it's such a trial of life to think about, do I want to go to the bathroom where there's, you know, urine and fecal matter and breath and warmth and moisture in the air to touch up my makeup? Or is it better to stay outside and just use a mirror to do it? Well, which move is going to save my life and save my look? Right? Now, as we powder down just these inner places on our face, right? We don't want to look chalky and lifeless. No, we just don't want to glisten like we've been frying bacon, because that can happen and it can sneak up on you. This is the color Soft Beige, right? And I have the color Natural. In daylight, it might be clearer for me to tell which color is actually a better match, but you know, I think a lot of colors won't necessarily go wrong, and then you look at it on your skin, compare it to your neck and your décolletage, to your hand. Sometimes your hand can be tanner than your face from being in a car, and you know, you just want to look and see what looks good and what looks realistic. And I'm also a little bit reluctant to get a lot of product into these lashes. You know, steam and oil and cream cleansers can dissolve the glue, but I'm impressed at how long it's hanging on, because unlike normal lash glue, this is something else. This is like, you know, NASA outer space level glue, and it has not moved for most of the time that I've had it on my eyes, except for this little corner. But yeah, I think if we left our makeup here, right, with our little fuzzy nude top, it would look sculpted, beautiful, emphasized, sexy. Have we gotten rid of the double chin? Have we emphasized the bone structure? Have we narrowed our nose? You know, is it necessary to get more product above the eye and into those lashes? I don't think so, right? But we have lip, we have eye emphasis, we've covered up darkness and shine. We have a combination of blush on from earlier TikTok demonstrations. We put on some e.l.f. putty blush in Bora Bora, which is this really nice, it almost evokes that Dior blush, which is oh so expensive, that is very trendy now, in this bright sort of hot pink rose color. I don't know the price of that Dior blush, but I am not in a rush to find out what the price is personally. So we take out our cute little floral hair clips, right? And put those back. We use our rake-like fingernails to create more volume in our hair, to make sure there's no tangles and pieces that don't look flattering, right? We sit back and look at our work, see what we've done. I think that we've created a look that is seamless and flattering. It's pretty. You know, I tend to blush more above the tip of my nose than on the end of my nose. I just, you know, that Doja Cat pink nose sometimes can be a little too much for me, but you know, I experiment. I think that if I get my nails filled as they are starting to grow out and as I've burned this one on the inside, you know, I would like to think about like a French manicure or something a little bit less colorful. This looks really great on camera and in photographs, but I think for my, you know, daily and work life, you know, bright nails might not be the move, just like long lashes may not be the move, and a more subtle strip lash, even tight lining the lash line. These lashes, because they slope down and they're quite heavy, they're in my field of vision, so I can always see them when I'm driving, when I'm walking around, and it's been an adjustment. It does look compelling, but you know, I look forward to these lashes and these nails, you know, going their way, perhaps in a week or two, and then, you know, it'll be on to the next makeup experiment. Do we need to give some attention to our brows? You know, I'm someone who has plentiful brow. I don't know that I need to do more. Brush them up, perhaps. I have gotten hold of some, is it Revolution, some kind of soap styler, but I haven't really gotten into it yet, you know, but just to brush the brows up and out. I do have some sparse areas here, but I don't think it's that serious. I do like the idea of sometimes kind of not using all the products on 10, right? A lip liner and a lip, these lashes, blush, some concealer, some contour, but not everything has to be all filled in, right? It's like when you wear a short skirt, maybe you wear a boot, or if you wear a low cut top, maybe you wear, you know, long pants. Everything doesn't have to be grabbing the attention and being sexy, because then it looks a little bit more effortless, right? Different looks for different times, and you know, I'm certainly pleased with the way that this looks, and I hope, you know, I hope what I've dabbled in product-wise has been instructive. I don't recommend these lighter colors of the e.l.f. putty bronzer on my skin tone. It might be okay as a bronzer, not as a contour, because of the warmth and the lightness of the lighter tones, but Bronzed Belle, you know, did a little something on my skin tone. But, you know, there's certainly other products that I use that I like equally or better. I think this lip combination is pretty. and it doesn't scream lipstick. It's not like I put on some dark opaque color that overtakes what my natural lips look like. It really just gives different emphasis, a little bit more weight at the shape line, and then a glossy color that enhances my natural color and almost lets my natural color and lip shape and texture show through without looking like severe gloss, severe surface that isn't natural. Do you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes at night or at the club, you can go further with glossy gloss and shiny shine and sparkle sparkle. But for this, I don't think I need to do all that. And now I'm going to go to the living room and go through some of the items that I was fortunate enough to get as gifts for this holiday and Christmas and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah season. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. I do have ambition to replace my phone so that I can record at will. That's been a bit of a struggle lately. I have to, empty out my Google storage because I'm not trying to like pay extra. I know, right? I'm just, you know, trying to get it done and not, waste things, not waste makeup, not waste money, not waste time, and not waste, a good get ready with me moment where I can, share what I like to do in part of my getting ready ritual to look snatched, made up, like I took some time to, you know, prepare and deliver a different look for the day. I do like the texture of this wig. I think it looks flattering without being like too much or too straight or too artificial looking or too much volume, I think I have ambition to make and repair some of my wigs that I love, but who can argue with this? It comes out of the package looking great, and it even has these cute little baby hairs. If I put product in them, I think they'd stay in place a little bit more effectively. But that's part of what makes it look natural too, the fact that it has its own kind of waywardness, But again, a beauty that is enhanced but looks real, looks natural, and not distractingly put on. That's sort of where my aesthetic is. Is it soft glam? I think so. These nails are verging more into on stage on stage glam. I think I showed you in a short the costume that I have to wear on stage in a couple of weeks. But thank you for joining me, and if you have a moment to join me in the living room, I'm gonna go through some of the stuff that I got for Christmas. You see behind me that the sun is going down, and tomorrow is the day that we have off for New Year's. So we're going to try to make the most of this time that we still have to ourselves. And I encourage you, spend some time organizing your makeup and testing it and reviewing products that you do and don't like. I'll talk about this here, butter bronzer, in one of my next posts. And if you have any questions or advice or things that you'd like for me to try, or you want to send me some stuff, I would love it. This is House of Tanya. Thank you for taking some time with me as I get ready, and I will see you very soon. All right. Thank you, stars. Bye.